Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Husky Barbu. This is Ariel Duran, and I am said Husky Barbu. What is this podcast about? Nothing. This is more like to get my feet wet into the whole thing, into the whole game. A little history lesson for those who have never heard me, which I would think it is 99.9% of whoever is listening to this. I used to dabble in podcasting. I had a short-lived podcast, lasted about a year, called the Smark Podcast. Was about wrestling, and you know how fun that is right now. And the sarcasm goes more to the WWE side. And due to said fun in WWE side, my interest in wrestling started to waver. And also the economical grind that is to keep a podcast in a big platform, added to the fact that I had no money then, and well, I simply quit and threw in the towel and stopped doing podcasts. Now, will this be a wrestling podcast? No, I think that that particular brand is pretty much covered. Not that I won't say anything about wrestling. I can't guarantee that because I do not foresee the future. But will this be a mainly wrestling podcast? No, it will not be a mainly wrestling podcast. I will not follow that grind because basically I'm not following it as closely as I was before. I mean, I pay attention to social media, some wrestling podcasts, but do I actually watch the product? No, I don't watch it anymore because said reasons. Dwindling content, boring, same old stuff. But I don't mean to crap on the parade of wrestling, specifically WWE. I don't mean to do that. And wow, starting with a hot take right away in the beginning. Anyway, as I said, that's one of the things I used to do. Well, I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, master of absolutely none. Also addressing that we're in the middle of a quarantine. Like none of you know. Like none of you knew. Sorry. English is my second language. So sometimes I mispronounce things or don't say anything well. Maybe it's Tourette's, maybe is dyslexia, or maybe because Spanish is my first language. I actually live in the Dominican Republic. That much of a detail I'll leave. Although I was born in the States, but I live in the Dominican Republic. Yes, this is all, burning information. I know this is like, wow, this is very interesting information. I really want to know all about this. Please keep talking, stranger. Please keep telling us all this important information. This is very pertaining. This is very entertaining. Please keep talking. I'll stop sarcasm now. Anyway, yeah, this is more like to getting back into the groove of things. Also note to whoever's listening, I am a fan of a bunch of things and follow a bunch of things. I've been around this earth for a while. Not that old, but I'm old. Well, no. 41 is not that old. Well, I'll be 42 in July. Anyway. So yeah, I follow a bunch of stuff. I have many interests, but the most important thing you need to know about who I am a hardcore introvert. That means that socializing or social distancing, as we are now known to call it, as we know now, I have been practicing that all my life. So staying at home, not contacting with people, I was ahead of the curve on that game. I was good. I am good, and I think I will continue to be good for the remainder of my life. So that was a bone, by the way, popped. Very entertaining stuff here happening while I'm recording. Anyway, so as I already mentioned, we are in quarantine. We are in lockdown. Yes, DR, Dominican Republic, the country which I live in, and also I have a second citizenship here. I've been living here most of my life, though I was born in the States, but lived here because my parents are from here. My whole family is from here. And I'm kind of adapted to the lifestyle that is here. And we'll leave it at that. Yeah, things are not that great out here in terms of how the disease or the pandemic that is now hitting the entire globe. You know, in terms of statistics, DR is been hit the hardest in Latin America in terms of statistics due to, per capita people and whatnot. So we've been getting hit pretty hard by this because people are not taking the precautions. They're treating this as a joke. Now, 3 weeks in, people are starting to understand, oh, this is serious stuff. And now the social distancing is happening a little better, but still stupidity is rampant. Rumors, people hearing a lot in the internet, people with no authority or not even coming from the authority saying that there was gonna be like a 24-hour lockdown. And people, of course, they believed it. And supermarkets and banks were packed on Monday. It was hell. Especially because I had to get the groceries for the house. I do not live alone. I am married and have a daughter, an 8-year-old, beautiful little girl. And I had to get some groceries because we were out of food. And when I went out, I just saw the endless lines as if somebody announced that the world was going to be destroyed within the next 72 hours and people just went crazy. And lines on banks, the vehicles were going just blocks far away, both on foot and on vehicle. The supermarkets were, oh my God, lines, and it was all due to a rumor. Not even official. It didn't come from any horse's mouth or anything. It didn't come from, when I mean the horse's mouth, I mean official statements. Well, no official statements made. It's just, oh, I think this is going to happen. And somebody just released that information as fact. And things just went crazy from there. It is unbelievable how rumors can spread and people just to follow the trend, follow anything that is said without getting any information out there, real, actual, factual information. So, yeah, that was so much fun this past Monday. By the way, if you need to know, recording right now on April the 1st, April Fool's Day, yay. Not that anything that I said has been a lie, because I think that making jokes or trying to fool people in the middle of all this is a little out of touch. Just a tad. Just a tad. Yeah, just a tad. Anyway, that's been a small recap of what has been happening. After that, it's been lockdown city. I don't go out, just only to do the groceries. And also to help out in my local church. Because, I also congregate. Does that mean, do you believe in God? Even in this day and age, in the 21st century? Yeah, I believe in a creator. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. See, I go to church and I believe, for personal reasons that I cannot go into detail now, in Jesus. But there are some aspects of the faith that I profess that I have a hard time to swallow. And it's specifically in the money whoring, give me money, and I will give this to you place of the or the end of that. That I do not agree at all with the greedy bastards that are out there. Oh, did I say that word? Yeah, that's another thing you guys need to know about me. I cuss a lot. I will try to keep it as PG or clean as possible, but in my personal life, I do have to admit, I cuss a lot. A whole lot. Like a lot. Like Joey Diaz mixed with Joe Rogan, mixed with pretty much every stand-up comic that is not clean. That's pretty much my vocabulary. Is it right? Is it wrong? Yeah, it's not right. Yes, I avoid that language in front of my daughter. I can tell you that much. But going through processes in the faith department, and I don't think that we should start this episode with a downer, because I mean pretty much everything right now is a downer. I mean, just look at everything that's going on out there. It's just sad, really. So let's not add more to that. Let's try to have some fun. Let's try to be happy about things. So I just decided to use my sarcastic wit. There I am, full of myself, thinking that I am all powerful. By the way, I do not think I actually have a very low self-esteem. Very, did I say very already? Very low self-esteem. Anyway, but I do have a bunch of interests, as I stated before. I am actually a artist, let's say. And the reason I use it like a question mark, or I use it like kind of a little asterisk on it, is because I don't consider myself that good, but I have been drawing most of my life, and currently right now I am working on my first ever graphic novel. Like, oh my god, another freaking nerd. Well, I think if you've heard me talking so far, you would have established that fact a long time ago. So if you didn't get the memo, now you're pretty much getting it. I am a comic book geek, but I'm not one of those religious type figures in terms of taking this as word of God or Bible truth or whatever you want, other reference you want to use. Like, for example, I avoid, like the plague, online or actual discussions. Like, I remember one time at work, people were actually, because I guess the place where I work at, I'll be discreet of where the place I'm working at right now, because I do have a day job. Well, right now it's in pause due to quarantine. But in my day job, my regular job, I work with, let's just say, a call center. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And there was a discussion amongst coworkers talking about who would actually win in a fight, Batman versus Superman. And since it is common knowledge where I work that I am like Geek Maximus Aurelius, or whatever the hell title you want to give me, they went to get me like to settle the score, to have the final authority. And before I started to educate, this sounds so goddamn stupid. Before I started educating my coworkers into the intrinsic facts or the knowledge of comic book lore, I told them, like, okay, first of all, you guys understand none of this is real, right? You understand that neither Superman or Batman are real, right? Like, you guys have been fighting for like 25 minutes for something that is not real. I just want you to grasp that concept. Like, you're wasting breath, turning oxygen into carbon monoxide for nothing. You've been spitting at each other's faces for 20 minutes or so, or whatever the time was, I don't know, for nothing. Because it's not real. It's not real. Just keep that in perspective inside your head, in the back of your mind, before you start talking. So it doesn't matter who the hell wins, because it's at the whim of a writer. It's at the whim of it's at the mercy of a writer. A writer decides this guy wins, but this guy has no powers. He's cooler, so he wins. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this. I'm really sorry. I know that probably superhero fatigue right now isn't the all-time highest, or maybe it's not. Maybe this is your cup of tea. You're like, yes, keep talking. Anyway, in a real world scenario, if there was an actual Superman and there was an actual Batman, both of them in their prime, both of them in their peak of their abilities, it's a no contest. Superman wins in 0.0 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm the biggest Batman mark in the world. I have a Greg Capullo figure Batman in my desk, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a 41-year-old freaking geek, and I have a Greg Capullo Batman figure from the New 52 DC universe, and I have it here in my desk in my Husky man cave. And I have it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. So I'm a Batman mark. I'm a huge Batman mark. But even I have to bow down to the common logical wisdom that Superman wins all day, every day. Oh, but Batman can, the cheat code that he does, like prep time. Yeah, prep time is nothing compared to a dude that can literally fly at the speed of sound, and Batman can do all the calculations he wants. If Superman had a sadistic dark side like he had in Man of Steel, shots fired. Yeah, neck break, and that's end of the game. So that's one little discussion, and I would imagine that when people start listening to this, I'm gonna have some beautiful, nice little geeks out there writing to me, oh, you're wrong because of this and that, because in the comics, an issue and so and in comic, this comic, Batman did this and Batman did that, and again, writer wrote it. If a writer writes it, it's word of God. It's what's supposed to be there. And I would also say, yes, I agree with you. You win. I don't know nothing. I know nothing. You win. Can we please continue living our lives now? Okay? Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that's a little nice point for geeks. I am also a metalhead. Okay, people are like, okay, Christian, I guess. Comic book nerd, but not that hardcore. I guess, and also on the Christian side, not that hardcore. And a metalhead? Like, what type of metalhead? Be more specific, fat sir. Well, if you insist. Metalhead in the terms that I started out like a Metallica, and right away I get alienated by a group of metalheads like, Metallica, they're a bunch of sellouts. And we're going back to square one. I think that you guys are starting to notice a thread here in terms of my comments, that like in everything that I like, there is a pro and a con, a negativity and a positivity. And guess what? That happens in everything in life, because there is no such thing as a perfect thing. You're like, but you believe in God. Yeah, and God, it's outside. Whether you believe in God or not, God, the concept of a deity is of perfection. In the most simple, basic term or form, perfection. And I don't know if you noticed, but I've noticed that I've never seen God. No one has ever seen God. And I find that as a metaphor for perfection. We've seen a lot of things that are very damn close to it, but we've never actually seen perfection. Why? Because perfection is that thing that is outside of us, but we keep on reaching it. We keep looking for it. There's something inside of us, all of us, in any area that we like, that we love, that we keep just scratching and clawing to get. Like people who are into making movies, they're seeking to make that perfect film. Do they achieve it right away? No, but they keep making, so that way they can get to it, get there, and they get close. And every time they get to play with these toys of making movies, they probably feel like, well, I'm getting there. I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting close to that unachievable thing. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. Same thing with me in my graphic novel, which, by the way, is titled The Within. With a little cheap plug there. A la Mick Foley. Because I'm a wrestling fan, I have to plug in the wrestling stuff. So I have to keep mentioning wrestling stuff, because I'm also like wrestling. Did I mention I like wrestling? Okay, I'll stop whispering now. This is turning a little bit ASMR. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? So yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, let's cut the wrestling thing. What I'm saying is, I enjoy doing the comic. Yes, I was talking about making my comic. I don't consider myself a good artist, but people seem to like what I draw. And I'm currently in the middle of making that comic, and it's long as F. See, there I am trying to censor myself not to throw the F-bombs. And some of you are like, throw them. And I'm like, well, yeah, I can throw them, but I think that right now we are being polluted with all the F-bombs. And I'm just trying to give a little positivity out there. And it's weird I'm talking about positivity when I think so far it's been a freaking downer. This is a great first episode, by the way. I think this is a great first episode. This is awesome. Just throwing down positivity, positive vibes all over the place. Oh my God. Anyway, let's continue with that illustration about drawing. So yeah, I'm doing this thing, this graphic novel. I've been doing it since last year because, as I already stated, I have a day job which takes 90% of my time, 70 actually. And I also, since my wife also works all day, it's just as me, I have to then take care of my daughter. my 8-year-old daughter. After I pick her up from her daycare, and because let's avoid the logistics of my personal life for now. Anyway, I take care of my daughter, and I have to do all the stuff here at work, at home, and then whatever free time I have, I start drawing. Of course, now that we're all quarantined, that has changed a lot. So now I've been able to pop 2, 3, 4 pages on a day because I start drawing. Well, today maybe I'll pop 1 page because now I'm dedicating this time to record this podcast, and it's already been on in the 25-minute mark. So yeah, I'm actually surprised that I'm taking this long. Anyway, so drawing, and I do feel that I'm getting better drawing that that graphic novel in terms of artistic freedom and drawing. Feel like I'm drawing with better details. I don't draw traditional American style comic book art, and whoever sees my stuff will not like it. I guarantee it. But maybe they will like it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird art style, I would say the least. But I also had experience before that drawing a web comic called Spirit of Vengeance. I got to do 2 issues. But the longest pages ever were like 64 or 70 pages each. That took me a while to draw as well. And honestly, I wasn't that very happy. With the exceptions of a few pages, I wasn't very happy how that one turned out. But the creator of the comic was happy with the art when I gave it to him. You know, client happy, I'm happy, but still, I think it's the perfectionist in me. And circling back to the subject that we were talking about, that we seek perfection. We seek that comforting blanket, that thing that is unobtainable by normal standards, but I guess in the process of repeating an exercise, repeating something that you do, or trying different things trying to obtain that thing that you're trying to do, you make perfection or close to it, or something that is good enough that can satisfy a group of people and say, this is good. This is actually good. I like this. So, follow me in this journey where I attempt to be exactly that in terms of podcasting and whatever other endeavor that I'll be handling from now on. So yeah, I'm doing that graphic novel. Since I'm promoting it, like, you people were like, well, what's it about? I mean, can you tell us some more information? If I did, I'd be giving out some big, huge plot details. Let's just say it's complicated. It's very complicated. Also, I have zero experience of doing a graphic novel. Very little to no experience whatsoever. So, it's basically like I'm starting doing it out of nowhere. So, yeah. Not out of nowhere, that came off wrong. I'm starting to do this, I am doing this like a Jack Kirby style. For those of you who are not educated or aware of what is a Jack Kirby style, Jack Kirby is basically comic book god. He basically created Marvel and part of DC in the comic book world. His art is top notch. He is a legend. And his style of comic book making is like, they just gave him bullet points of, okay, this is the plot. No lettering. No, they just gave him bullet points of what, okay, this is the plot of what the comic is about. He was like, say no more. And he just ranked out pages like a madman. The man was doing like 5 or 6 comics a month. Different characters, different comics. It was insane. And the man was just prolific in terms of creating content. It was insane. I mean, I don't think anyone would do like 5, 6, 7 different comics in a month. In a month. I don't know how long it took him to do pages, but I think he must have a record like doing maybe 7 or 8 different pages a day. I don't know. I'm speaking out of my rear end. There it goes. I promise to explain all these intrinsic, these weird things that I have, these weird tics that I have. I promise to explain them better. Jack Kirby. So I'm doing it Jack Kirby style, basically. I have the main bullet points in my head, where the story is going. And no script at all, just drawing out of my head everything. I know that, this much I do know that, nowadays I don't think that's the appropriate way to draw comics, but due to the fact that when I started drawing or doing this graphic novel, I didn't have much time to write because work, family, all that stuff. If I didn't do something, I was not going to do anything at all. So I just started drawing immediately, like boom, here it is. Boom, boom, boom. And not to toot my own horn or that much, but I've always had this like native way to that thing that I can imagine just projected in a pencil. Like I don't have to search that deep to find something like, okay, I think I want to see this, so my hand just goes, say no more, draws. Not that I'm the best drawer, the fastest hand in whatever the side of the world I am. You don't know your geography. Here I am laughing at my own jokes. Anyway. So yeah, graphic novel, doing it. Jesus Christ, I took like 5 minutes just to talk about that statement. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I am posting the drawings on my social media. Where is that social media so we can talk crap about you? Is, well, if you must know, but please just don't talk the crap. I don't need the crap. I really don't need the crap. The social media is at that Ariel Duran, altogether, lowercase, that Ariel Duran. You mean like Duran Duran the band? If you get that reference, you're old as F. If you get that reference, you're old. You're freaking old. If you don't get it, good, you're a puppy. You're a young being. You're still young. Good for you. If you understood that reference, you're like, oh, you're older than Captain America. Anyway. So, but Duran Duran was after Captain America. Again, you're letting people know how old you are. Shut up. Anyway, that is my social media at that Ariel Duran, Twitter, Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but I really don't want you to look me up on Facebook. Just don't. Do you have a website? In case you don't know, I already mentioned that I like that I don't speak like certain comedians. There's one that I particularly like a lot, Tom Segura, and he always says that you are an explicit if you don't have a website. Well, Tom Segura, I am an explicit because I don't have a website. I'm poor as F. So, and when I say poor, I don't mean to diminish people who are actually going through very big needs. I'm just saying that I don't have the extra cash to hose down for making a website at the moment. I do want to do that. Hopefully, if things get better in the future, near future, that could happen. And I wouldn't be mad if it did. So, but so far, no website, just social media. I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel. Well, I'm working on having a second one for this said podcast, which you are currently listening to. It would be under the name of the Husky Barbu. I also have my personal YouTube channel where I show some tutorials. I wouldn't say tutorials because I really don't show you a step-by-step guide. I just like speed record the process of what I'm doing and just leave you like, okay, just follow that. And you're like, what? Okay, so I guess I'll just watch you draw for like 15 minutes and make a drawing. So, yeah. I also have 2 pages where I upload my art so you can see it in better detail, because Instagram, the resolution is not that good. I have 2 pages. One is DeviantArt and the other one is in ArtStation. The DeviantArt, I will have to apologize for the name because I did this years ago in my early 20s and it is a dumb name. So you can search for it in deviantart.com /AZZH316. That is A as in apple, Z as in zebra, Z as in zebra, H as in house, 316. Yeah, I was dumb back then when I chose that name. I was like, well, nobody has that name. Ha ha ha. Stupid idiot. So yeah, that's the oldest one I have. I have that DeviantArt page since, I don't know, 2004? 2004, I guess. And there's a lot of drawings you can see. Kind of my evolution since then, from then to now. I also have an ArtStation page, which does have the actual name. I'm like, oh, thank you. You actually had maturity. Artstation.com /Ariel Duran. And you can see all my drawings there as well. And for inquiries and whatnot. Well, you can tell that I'm in nature at the moment with such beautiful noises. Anyway. That's pretty much, I think, a good intro to my world, the way I think. And then later, I guess, we'll talk about more details of what it is that I'm doing, what is, like, fill in the blanks. Try to keep you guys entertained in my quirky, no funny but funny. Does that even make sense? No funny but funny. That makes no sense at all. Yeah, I suck at this. The being funny part. Although in person, people think I'm a hoot. And by a hoot, I mean this a-hole who doesn't even respond to when he's talking to. Because, again, social distancing, I'm the freaking champ. I'm the master. The ruler of the universe in that sense. And like, people, oh, you're trying to talk to me. Good. Please find someone else to talk to because I'm occupied at this point. I'm checked out. But I wanted to bye. Bye. Goodbye. Don't want to talk. You're kind of an a-hole. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of. That's something that I get a lot of complaints about, especially from family members. But it is what it is, and it's my personal defense mechanism, which I'm not saying is right or wrong. It's just the way how I adapt to life. So, if you ever get the chance to meet me in person, look at hearing me talking like, you're gonna be so big, people will want to meet you, and people will want to talk to you, and they want to have communications with you. To that I say, haha, rolling on the floor laughter, inhaling, exhaling, take a breather, start laughing again, roll on the floor, get dirty, then I have to go to the bathroom, clean myself up because I got dirty because I was laughing on the floor, rolling on the floor of laughter. I'll stop the sarcasm at that point now. Also, I would say, famous, why would I want to do that? But you're recording a podcast and you want to be heard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but right now there's not much to do. So I would gather that most people will want to. Okay, birds. I don't know if you have a flight pattern right directly to the place I live. And more vehicles, yes. As you can tell, this place is not soundproof. Okay, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Okay, yeah, I'm recording just so. I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, I promised myself that I would do this. There's always been an innate thing in me, like to talk into a microphone to total strangers, say the things that I would never say to anyone in person. A psychologist is having a field day with this sentence right now. They're like, keep talking. Keep talking. Anyway, I think that's a wrap for a first episode. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. This was weird for me, and I hope it was weird for you too. So, if you want to keep listening to weird stuff, we can do this again soon, I hope. And I hope you guys enjoy it. This is crazy. This is weird. This is something which I hope that you guys, whoever is listening, enjoys it. If you don't enjoy it, please don't tell me. Please don't let me know. Just leave it in the abyss. Leave it as a, this is so bad, I'm not even gonna bother writing. Which in social media, that would be like a leper. What is a leper? Again, I'm using biblical references for people who actually don't read Bibles. Such an idiot. Anyway. Again, this is Ariel and I. This was the first ever podcast, or maybe the last one ever, of the Husky Barbu. And we'll catch each other down the road. Take care. Bye.